We continue to closely monitor the crackdown in Burma. Another day of protest is unfolding as we speak. Andrew Kirkwood lives and works in Rangoon, where he is director for Save the Children. At some stage, he will need to make a decision about the safety of his own staff. Earlier, I asked him to give me a sense of just how tense it is on the ground in Burma.
Things have been very, very tense all day. Everybody expecting the demonstrations to continue and the confrontations to continue. I think that's exactly what happened. The demonstrations have so far been much smaller than yesterday, and that's probably because there are reports that many of the monasteries have blockades around them so that monks have not been able to get out.
Now, we saw just only an hour or so ago a report that the protesters have been given a warning to disperse or there would be severe action. Have you heard or seen anything that would indicate that's come to pass?
Yes, about an hour ago there were 2,000 people sitting with 6 monks in front of Suli, well, very close to Suli Pagoda. And we have reliable reports that they have been attacked with tear gas and batons.
What are people saying to you? You've been in the country now for a while. Presumably you get to speak to people. What are people actually saying about how this is likely to play itself out?
There are as many answers to that question as people I have spoken to, and it's very difficult to predict. I think the one consistent message that I get from people is that they really think that this is the time that they really need international attention and support. The people are quite universal in saying that.
Do you believe that the regime itself feels as though it's being backed up against a wall, that there is real pressure on the regime to survive?
Again, I mean, it's not. It's very, very difficult for us to say. The regime, this was not in the regime's plans either, and this has taken their roadmap to democracy plans a bit awry. So I would imagine that this is, they are feeling quite under pressure.
From your experience, just how open are the people in the military regime there to outside pressure, outside influence?
From my contact with the senior military regime is next to nil. When we do have contact with the government, it's with civilian, bureaucrats. But so what you know is what I know. Basically, what we read, and this regime has been self-isolated for most of the last 45 years. That hasn't changed anything.
Now, initially, of course, a lot of the focus has been on the monks. Are they still at the forefront of these protests? They're leading them, or has it grown beyond that now?
Every day in the last 9 days, there have been more civilians joining. And as I said earlier, the group that was reportedly attacked an hour ago were 2,000 civilians with only 6 monks. The character of the demonstrations today is very different, but that is possibly simply because the monks were unable to join.
And just before I let you go, at what point will you make a decision about yourself and your staff there that it is too dangerous to remain? Are you at that point yet, or getting near that?
No, I don't think we are there yet. We have offices, 35 offices around the country that continue to provide health programs, providing clean water and toilets for children, running nursery schools, nutrition and anti-poverty programs, and all of those 35 offices and programs are running at the moment. Our team in Yangon, where basically the protests, the confrontations at the moment seem to be isolated to Yangon. Our team here continues to show up to support our programs in the field. As long as we have programs and staff in the field, we will do everything we can to support them and ensure they're safe.
Andrew Kirkwood, appreciate you sparing the time to speak to us. Thank you.
You're welcome.